So I was thinking, my thumb hurts. This one, which is it's typical for me to have something hurting. I'm very very clumsy, and I get injured a lot. Um, There are a few reasons for that. It's connected to some of the conditions that I have, and then I had genetic testing done, and it said I've got genes that are all about being uncoordinated. I don't know. Anyway, I'm hypermobile, so that doesn't give me as much stability, and yeah, so my thumb hurts. It's my most recent major injury. There's been several in the last few months. I'm going to get one of those little cards or charts or whatever that say this many days since the most recent injury. I'm betting it's only going to say 1 or 2 days. I should get a reward or something if I go 7 days. Anyway, point is, my thumb. Can't really see it, because that's how it is for me. I bruise really easy for little stuff like pokes and bumps. My legs are always covered in bruises. But when anything major happens, like when I broke my finger last year, it doesn't swell and bruise that much. Some quick research says it might have to do with my probable hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. But who knows? The important thing here is that while you can't see much difference right now between the two thumbs, they look fairly the same, and it did even right after it happened. It's injured. So what's happened was we were moving this folding table, and the folding table had several boxes piled on it for sorting stuff, and I'd say it was, at least 60 pounds of boxes, and the leg kicked out. So on the folding table, it's got 2 legs on each side, right? And one of the brackets, the angle brackets that goes from the top of the table to the leg, those are like 2mm wide metal bars. So when the leg kicked out and started to fold the table came down onto my thumb, landing like a karate chop, the 2mm bar across here, with the weight of all the boxes on it, and it hurts a lot. I'm hypersensitive to feelings in my body, so I could tell that the bone isn't like terribly broken. It didn't feel the same as when I had a spiral fracture and broke the whole end of my finger off last year. It felt different. I would not be totally surprised though if there was like a hairline fracture or something minor in there. Most importantly, there's damage to the nerve that's in there. I'm hoping that it will heal without having to disrupt anyone in the medical field, but along this edge of it, there's a little line of swelling, of inflammation there, like a hard line that's not on the other side, and when I touch it, it actually had turned black and blue for a couple hours right after, and then the colour went red, and then by the next day the colour's gone but the pain is still there. So maybe it was enough of a crush injury to limit bleeding like how they crush the vessels when they're doing castration for animals, and umbilical cords, how the mum of the animal chews it and that makes it stop bleeding because it's crushed. Maybe it's something to do with that. Anyway, sorry for the sidetrack. When I touch it, it hurts a bit, but more importantly, it's pins and needles, like when your foot falls asleep. And if I bump it quite hard, it's very much like after your foot falls asleep and you smack it on something. It's tingly and painful, tingly and painful at the same time. Extremely sensitive. So I wish I knew exactly what was going on in there. I'm always curious about how the medical things are working. I thought it was interesting that it can have so much definite damage in there and yet can't spot a thing. And yet if you look at my legs, covered in bruises, just from little... I bumped something. If you want to hear about what my next injury ends up being, like and follow. Toodles.